Hi guys, do you know why is the Su-57 cheaper than the Su-35? The answer to this question is very simple. In fact, the Su-57 is not cheaper than the Su-35. On the contrary, the Su-57 is more expensive to produce. The main mistake of Westerners is that they try to compare the cost of export deliveries of the Su-35 with the price of the Su-57 for the Russian Air Force. These are completely different terms of contracts. In reality, the export price of the Su-35 is overstated by 3 or 4 times compared to the price of domestic supplies. Why is this so? Because in addition to producing and supplying the aircraft themselves, Russia is creating infrastructure for them under the terms of export contracts, sets of spare parts and a replacement fund of engines, supplies of weapons and training of pilots. For internal deliveries to the Russian army, only the cost of aircraft production is indicated. Everything else is taken into account in separate contracts. In general, at present we can only use approximate data, but we can compare the named cost of the contract for the supply of 76 Su-57 to the Russian army and the cost of purchasing the Su-35S under 2 contracts, 2009 and 2015. In 2009, the contract value for 48 Su-35S was 66 billion rubles, and in 2015, the contract value for an additional 48 Su-35S was up to 100 billion rubles. By simple calculations, we get that the cost of the Su-35S in 2009 was about 1.38 billion rubles, and in 2015 did not exceed 2.08 billion rubles. At the same time, according to the announced information, the cost of purchasing the Su-57 for the Russian army is about 2.24 billion rubles. Perhaps someone will say that the cost of the Su-35S is still too little different from the price of the Su-57. After all, it would seem this is a Generation 4++ aircraft against the 5th generation aircraft. However, some factors must be taken into account. The Su-35S and Su-57 are largely unified in avionics. Also, the Su-57 contains 10% fewer assembly parts than the Su-35S, as a result of greater engineering design excellence. This leads to a reduction in labor costs during assembly, which in turn contributes to cheaper Su-57. And just for comparison, the cost of the contract for the supply of 92 Su-34, signed in 2012, amounted to about 100 billion rubles. That is, the price of one Su-34 for the Russian Air Force was about 1.09 billion rubles.